What's going on, folks? Welcome to Diary of the Deadpit. I know it's the first one I've done in quite a while. Haven't had too many ideas on what to do. I've heard a lot of people talk about just how dead horror is right now, and it really is. I mean, when it comes to mainstream horror films, at least, I think that this month you only have two releases: Quarantine, and of course Saw 5, More Blood. And just throughout this year, I mean, if you really look at the Dead Pit on the Road reviews, there really hadn't been too much. We've done a lot of non-horror stuff. Did Harold and Kumar, Rambo, Indiana Jones, stuff like that. And to be quite honest with you, there's not a whole lot of mainstream horror films even coming out next year. I think the Friday the 13th deal, that's probably the big one. So we're all waiting on that. But the horror never dies over at Deadpit.com, and we try to always put on an entertaining show for you guys. Last week we did the sequelitis for Child's Play 3 and The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 from '85. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, go ahead and check that out. Also, another cool thing that we definitely want to thank Jared Deaton for doing this article on us. The Floyd County Times, which is distributed locally here, this is the issue of the Floyd County Times, Friday, October 3rd edition, which if you live around Floyd County, you can probably still get it. Really cool article he did on us, and a big thanks goes out to him again. I'll just show you the page that he did. Really cool little article he did on us. You can see the picture of us with Romero right there. It's called Dead Air, local duo making a name in world of horror. And there's the filming, the documentary from last summer. And it's really one of the only pieces of coverage we've ever gotten locally. And again, Jared Deaton, thanks for doing the article. It's this issue of the Floyd County Times. If you want to read the article, I've got it up on the message board at deadpit.com. Again, it was just really cool to have, get some sort of recognition locally. The only thing I'm worried about is that people will actually try to seek us out and talk horror with us, which I'm fine with, but I just don't want some people showing up to the house here. They look up the phone book and all that. So anyway, what I thought I would do is do another Blu-ray update. I love talking about Blu-rays and talking about, I know another Blu-ray updater on here says that I think everything looks great. Everything looks awesome. That's because it is awesome. It's 1080p, it's Blu-ray, and it kicks ass. So let's talk about a few of them that I've gotten since then. And this one I've actually reviewed. The Lost Boys, The Tribe. I already talked about this one. Talked about the movie and like a creepy, crappy movie review. So just talk about the Blu-ray really quickly. It looks good. Looks really good. It was shot in HD, I believe. So of course it's going to look good. Now it doesn't look great, but definitely an improvement over an SD release. The features on it has a pretty good amount of features on it. And I got this one. I actually did sort of pay for this one. I think it was $10 used. So that's a rare one that I actually had to pay for. Lost Boys, The Tribe. Check it out. Still need to get the first Lost Boys Blu-ray. I heard that one was pretty good too. So need to get that one. And Warner always does, I think, a decent job with their HD titles. So there's Lost Boys, The Tribe. Some stuff that I haven't talked about on here. Stephen King, let's talk about this one first. 1408. And we got this one for a review, and I did a written review for it. And this is a pretty basic story, and I think that this was another short story by Stephen King, if I'm not mistaken. I don't read books. I'm from Kentucky. I get away with that. Where this guy, John Cusack, he plays this guy that writes books debunking horror, legends of, just haunted legends of haunted houses, or hotels or whatever. So he gets an invitation to visit room 1408 in this hotel, and it's haunted as hell. We'll just say that. And this is finally one that he can't debunk. We'll just leave it at that. But it also it's one of the 537 movies Samuel L. Jackson was in the year 2007. And it's a pretty cool movie. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I enjoy watching John Cusack in roles. He doesn't do too many movies anymore, it doesn't seem like. But I've been a fan of his since Stand By Me, which was one of my all-time favorite films. And this one does have some terrifying stuff in it. So Mikael Hofstrom did a great job with this. The Blu-ray itself is above average. I wouldn't say it's great. It looks good. And the features are right off of the 2-disc DVD edition. So there you go, 1408. The other one, Stephen King related, is The Mist. Now, this was a movie that is another one based on a short story from Stephen King. And, I know through a few people, it's a 2-disc set, that this was a highly anticipated release. A lot of people were looking forward to The Mist. And initially when I watched the DVD. We reviewed the DVD version, and then luckily we get the Blu-ray version to review as well. I didn't think too much of the movie, to be honest with you. I don't know what it was, if it was just where it was so freaking long. Because let's look at it here. It's over 2 hours long. Or if it just, the CG, and I still think the CG in it is horrible. With all because the basic plot of The Mist, for all two of you out there that haven't seen the book or the movie, a huge storm off the coast of Maine comes in and destroys tons of property. Then a group led by Thomas Jane, along with his son and a neighbor, go to the store, and pretty much once they're in the store, they notice that there's these creatures in the mist that are bloodthirsty, and they're hungry for the people inside the store. So it's pretty much a survival movie from that point on, and it gets sort of apocalyptic style movie from that point on. And the movie, a lot of the Stephen King fans love the movie because it's so truthful, or it's so true to the book. And initially I didn't like the movie, but I watched it again and it grew on me quite a bit. This is a pretty good movie. And the cool thing about this one is it has both versions, the color and the black and white versions, in HD. And it has tons of extras and commentaries and documentaries and all that. So this is a pretty cool one, and it looked really good. I mean, aside from the CG stuff, which it made it look even worse, especially the tentacle monster, the first monster you really see, it made it look even worse in HD. But the HD quality of this was great, and it made the movie even better. I think the black and white version actually looked better, believe it or not. I don't know how that's possible, but The Mist, the 2-disc edition, again, I'll showcase it for you. The Mist on Blu-ray, yeah. What else do we have? Alright, I want to talk about these all together, these two. Because I asked for these, I didn't know what they were. There was a member of our message board that really put these movies over. These are Russian, sort of like Matrix vampire movies or something. Night Watch and Day Watch. And Fox released both of these. I'm not going to talk too much. Let's just talk about the quality of these. They look really good. The quality of them, they're fine. The movies themselves are the problem. For one thing, let's see, Night Watch was like 114 minutes. That's not too bad. But if you get to Day Watch, you're at 146 minutes. Okay? Oh, God. And these movies are so goddamn pointless and boring. I just don't really want to get into it. I pretty much hated the movies. I mean, they had some good visuals here and there, but these movies, in my opinion, they suck. I mean, I watch foreign movies from time to time, but I can't get into these. I thought that they were really boring and tedious to get through. The video quality on them was fine, but the movies themselves, I can't recommend them. But if you do like the movies, if there's something wrong with you in the head, you've had some sort of brain injury and you enjoy the movies, you might want to check them out. But I didn't get into them at all, so it's not watching day watch. Next one I know a lot of people are looking forward to. You probably already have it. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Blu-ray, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which in my opinion is the only Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just breaks my heart when I hear people say that the remake is better than the original film, or that people say that the original film starts off slow. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, do you need a horror film to be 90 minutes worth of non-stop gore and pointless violence? So I think that's the reason people don't get into, maybe they get into the remake more than the original. But to me, the remake is one of the most boring films I've ever seen, especially in the theater. I just think it totally sucked ass, and I'm really not looking forward to the Friday the 13th remake, which is being done by the same people. I just think that they ruined, when they remake a film, like, okay, I love this t-shirt right here, the Hills Have Eyes t-shirt, right? When I wear this t-shirt out in town, around here, or anywhere in bigger cities, it doesn't matter. People always say, oh man, I love that movie, I saw it in the theater. And the guy's 25, 26 years old. I was like, no, you saw the remake. You didn't see Wes Craven's Hills Have Eyes. And that's what you get a lot with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's people out there that think the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in 2003. No, this is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In my opinion, this is the only Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The sequels are alright, aside from Part 4, but they should never have been made, really. So this is the only one that's a true Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And this HD version has an exclusive extra on it, Off the Hook with Terry McMahon, which our good friend Michael Felcher did the interview and recorded it. You know, he did all the special features on this, or the majority of them. And people want to know, what does this Blu-ray look like? Oh, I can shine the damn light in the hole. Look at that. It's got like a cool little case with it. But what does the HD look like? And to be quite honest with you, I'll be perfectly blunt here. It looks great. It looks as good as this movie will ever, in my opinion, look, because it was shot in 16mm. So it's never going to look, it's not going to look like, as good as The Mist or something like that. It's just not. There's no way it can. But if you have the Ultimate Edition DVD, it's simply not going to look that much better. If you have that, you can upscale it on that DVD. It's just not. It can't. But it looked great in HD, and the Blu-ray is only like 18 bucks. So I would highly recommend this. This is a great movie to own. I mean, whatever format comes out of this, I'll always buy this movie, because this is a movie that I can always rewatch, and it's one of those films that when you see it on TV, you'll always sit back and watch the rest of it. It's just so well made, and it's still, some of the visuals in it are still a little frightening to this day. And just it's like one of those movies that has so much shit that went on behind the scenes, and they've made multiple documentaries about this. So all you people out there that still think the remake is better, but this is a cool Blu-ray. Check it out. If you don't have the Ultimate Edition, you have a Blu-ray player, boom, this is what you get, baby. So the last one I want to talk about is a box set, and I haven't watched all of them yet. I actually watched one of them, but thankfully I got sent this, because I've been dying to check out these movies for a long while. This is the Ray Harryhausen collection. And this actually includes 4 films of his, starting with It Came From Beneath the Sea from 1955. It actually ends with The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, which a lot of people believe to be the best film Harryhausen did, effects for and stuff like that. So you have other films on here though, The Earth versus the Flying Saucer and 20 Million Miles to Earth. And you take these out, these are individual Blu-ray discs. This is the one I actually watched. And a lot of people will tell you that the movies are not as nearly as, a lot of people will tell you that the movies aren't nearly as good as the stop motion effects that Harryhausen did, and that's true. These movies are fun, they're cool B movies, but they're not really that good aside from the stop motion stuff. And this was like the mid-50s, this one was. You remember this dude right here, Kenneth Tobey. Anyway, he was the gas station attendant in Gremlins, and I kept thinking that the whole time because his face looked exactly the same. He was just younger. But the cool thing with this, these are loaded with features. I watched a interview with Harryhausen and Tim Burton, which is a long interview. I think it was like 15 minutes long. And the cool thing using the angle feature, which I've never used on Blu-ray before, is you can switch between the colorized version and the original black and white version on here, which I think is really cool. Now the video quality on this, you shouldn't expect a whole lot. I mean, it was a cheaply made film, didn't have a huge budget, and it was shot in the 50s. So it's not going to look great, but it looked fine to me. I didn't have any complaints. But these are loaded with special features, all this. I think that this one was released by itself. But the new one, which is coming out by itself, in addition to this set, is The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. And a lot of people reference this movie as being, one of the overall best that Harryhausen ever did. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this one, and also I'll show you the other ones, although I haven't seen them yet. 20 Million Miles to Earth, and The Earth versus the Flying Saucers. So looking forward to checking these ones out. These are next on my review list. So yeah, so that's it for the Blu-ray stuff. I might do another DVD update thing, but that could be long. That could be really long because we've gotten so much stuff in this past month and a half. I don't even know what the hell we have. I mean, I've been mailing stuff out for people, mailing DVDs out for people to review, and just as quick as we get them, because we don't really want to sit on them too long with these studios. But anyway, Blu-ray rules. Everybody else, keep it up with your updates. More Blu-ray updates, more DVD updates. I love watching all this stuff. YouTube kicks ass, and I'll be back soon. I think Uncle Bill's going to be he's going to be doing another video after a big 3-month hiatus or whatever it's been. So he'll be doing the next one. We're probably going to do some on the road stuff coming up, so stay tuned. I apologize for not doing as many videos as we initially thought. But until next time, I'm the Creepy Kentuckian, and we'll see you over at Diary of the Deadpit.